So these really are the best of the best, the elite of the elite. And so now the very difficult process of deciding who is going to be on this first Artemis crew, Artemis 2, which is slated to launch sometime in 2024. And these are our list of top contenders based on interviews that I conducted with about a dozen current and former NASA officials and astronauts. It's a diverse mix of gender, race, but also professional diversity. The people that I spoke to say it's very important that there is a mix of skill sets, but also very important that you have quite a few test pilots on this flight, because this is only the second time that this vehicle has ever flown. Issa, one of the other big questions has been just how much input is NASA's leadership in Washington going to have on who makes this final cut for these 4 seats. And I spoke with NASA Administrator Bill Nelson, and he told me this. He said, quote, "We," meaning NASA's leadership in Washington, "stay out of the selection of the crew. That's done by the people at the Johnson Space Center. They will make the decision. I do not know if they've decided who the crew is, nor should I." That is a very important statement. Many of the people that I spoke with within NASA said, you know, that was news to them, not because they didn't think that historically that's how it's been done, but because this is such a prestigious, high-profile mission that's costing, you know, about $100 billion by 2025. So this is all going to be done by about 3 people, the selection process, in the Johnson Space Center. And as for who's going to make that final cut, I would have to say, Issa, at the top of the list is an astronaut by the name of Reed Wiseman. He is the former chief of the astronaut office at NASA, and it's a prestigious job, but I can't tell you in my reporting how many people, Issa, told me that it's a job that right now nobody else wants, because it means if you're the chief astronaut that you can't fly in space because you're the person responsible for assigning the crews or making the initial crew assignment. So Reed Wiseman actually stepped down from that position just a day or two before the first uncrewed test flight of the Artemis rocket back in November, and it's widely believed that he is one of those very top candidates for making the cut for Artemis.
And you know what I saw? If I can ask my producer Anna just to bring up the list of contenders. I mean, what struck me first of all is there are 4 women. Hallelujah. Yeah. And the other thing, you said they're highly qualified, clearly all overachievers, but that is not the deciding factor here, because sometimes the smallest thing can clinch it. So just explain this.
So 2 things. In terms of women, I mean, Artemis in Greek mythology is the twin sister of Apollo. And so from the very beginning of this program, NASA has made it very clear that a woman is going to be the first person to walk on the moon, along with the first person of color to walk on the moon. So that's why there's such a heavy emphasis on gender and race with these crew assignments. This has been part of the Artemis program's DNA from the very beginning. As to your second point, you know, Issa, yes, there are some very complicated things to consider about who's the best spacewalker, who's a good test pilot, who is good at EVAs and robotics. But at the end of the day, as a former NASA astronaut, Garrett Reisman, explained to me, it can come down to something as frustrating and small as what size spacesuit you wear. If you do not have, if you're a size extra large and they only have a medium and a large, you don't get assigned to that mission. So it's little things like that that can drive astronauts waiting for a flight assignment absolutely crazy. But
that is so unfair.
Everybody wants. I know.
It's so unfair. You train so hard, right, to get this gig, and you might not get it because the suit may not have the suit size. But look, we wish them all the best of luck. Kirsten Fisher, appreciate it. Great reporting. Thank you. And still to come tonight, a new commitment to protecting the Amazon. CNN takes you on a law enforcement raid to stop deforestation in Brazil. That is next.